All right. So this kind of an awkward video. Basically, I finally got my first hater. So I guess I finally made it to some sort of YouTube stature where I got somebody that kind of, in my opinion, had the wildest thoughts of who I am. So I don't care. I mean, you can honestly, you can think of whatever you want of me. But I just don't want the masses to be of the wrong impression of who I am. I want to encourage people to do things. I want to encourage people to get out there and build an abandoned house, and buy project cars like the 60 Caddy I have sitting outside the window here and all that stuff. And know that you don't have to be rich to do it. You don't have to be talented to do it or anything like that. Just learn. But anyway, so I'm gonna try and see if I can. Do I even do that? I was gonna clip in pictures of his actual comments, but I don't think I'll bother doing that. I know a lot of people do that would call out something like this. But basically, I don't want people to have the wrong impression of me. His comments don't particularly bother me at all. It's just I don't want people to think that's who I am. That's all. So anyway, let's get to it. There's a lot of them. There are a lot of comments that this guy posted, one after another, and I'm going to post this video to both my YouTube channels because I have my YouTube channel where I'm rebuilding an abandoned house, and I have my automotive YouTube channel. So I'll post it to both, just because I want people to kind of know who I am. I was contemplating doing a Who Am I video anyway, eventually, and I guess this is just the opportunity to do it. So he commented on my car channel about a project car that I picked up. It was a 1980 Pontiac Trans Am, Turbo Trans Am, kind of all original, decent score. And that's what I like doing. I like buying, building, keeping, selling some, replacing others with some. I'm a car guy through and through. That's what feeds my soul, big time. The house project, that's so I have a home. I'm in a life restart, and the house build is what it is. It's so I have a place to live. So anyway, it was his comment was on my car channel that I had posted something about a car that I had picked up. So his first comment said, "What does a beta have to do with rebuilding a house? Question mark. Is YouTube need new material that bad for ratings? Question mark. Let's stick with the house project only, okay? Question mark." So I was under the impression he was on the wrong channel, that he came over from my house channel and didn't realize he was watching my other channel. So I just responded nice and politely and said, "This is my car related channel. My house channel is Charlie Does It." So to which he replied, "So rebuilding a house doesn't generate enough, he's saying enough money, but he put $9 signs. So he said, "So rebuilding a house doesn't generate enough money from YouTube? Question mark. There are already too many car projects on YouTube that are the same." Okay, whatever. So bear with me here. So I responded to that, and I just said, "Everyone has their own opinions. If you don't like what I've posted, simply don't watch it. Every great YouTube channel starts from somewhere, and it's not always an overnight success. I will continue to post what I'm doing, and if it takes off, great. And if not, oh well, I'm just posting stuff that I do." Pretty simple, right? Not calling names, nothing like that. To which he responds, 4 cars bought. Just think how further your project house would been." That's how he's writing it. I'm trying to read it the same way he's writing it. 4 cars bought. Just think how further your project house would been finished. By the way, YouTube, whom you get paid are the one who dictate what you do, how you live. Also, what I observe are not opinions. Okay. Sure sounds like he has an opinion of who I am and how I'm doing things. Then he comments, being paid to spend money by YouTube is a luxury 99% of us regular people don't have, who actually earn money the honest way. Soon there will be 10 ways to go off a tangent from the first project and nothing will get finished. Maybe the house reno shouldn't have been started if it's so boring knowing it wasn't going to be an easy, quickie job. It's called work, being patient. Without YouTube financing these projects, there wouldn't have been a house. Somehow there's no budget restrictions. Must be nice. Us in the real world don't have such luxury. Okay, so let's clear the air on this. As of when these comments came in, my pay from YouTube, zero. I'd received zero. I've received, I think it was like 12 cents, because they do, when you first get monetized, they sent me like a 12-cent deposit to make sure that the bank account that I linked to it was active, and then you have to enter that back in, whatever that number is, for them to confirm that it went through properly. So essentially, I guess I got paid 12 cents at that point. And at that point, this was recent. This was within a week ago. And at that point, I think I had posted something like 80 videos already, or over 80 videos, to my one Charlie Does It YouTube channel. And my other channel, I'd probably say easily 80 videos on my automotive channel, which I didn't receive zero from that yet either. So my money is as honest as it gets. The money I have no education, dropped out, started supporting myself at 15 years old, and that's it. Lived a meager lifestyle, and like I haven't had cable in 15 years, don't care to. Never have the latest and greatest cell phones, none of that stuff. Like, cook at home a lot, most of the time. I go out to eat just to socialize with friends from time to time and whatnot. And pretty much never buy anything that's good. Everything I buy is junk. Like, even my truck. Like, my truck might look nice. It's a 2015 Chevy, and it has 270,000 miles on it. I got it at what I initially thought was a good deal from my brother, and proceeded to replace the transmission, tires, suspension work, AC condenser. I mean, it was one thing after another, and it's dead out there in the driveway right now as we speak. So however I'm coming across, I assure you I am not loaded. I do have some money and whatnot. I'll touch base on that in a minute. Let's go across a couple more. So to that last comment, I said, wow, since you know everything, let's ask how much YouTube pays me per video and how much I've gotten paid from YouTube from start till today. There was no response to that. And now you guys know the answer to that. So then I just said, I love how you think you know everything. Let's start with one simple fact. I have not received even a single dollar from YouTube from either one of my channels. 100% fact. To which he responds, I'm not envious at all. Just practical, by the way. Physically, I used to do the car things you do, but I'm a realist. And being I'm on disability does not make me jealous nor miserable. How about doing this for free? See how far you can go with your projects in real life. Nobody gets a free ride, no external help. Until you know a person, don't judge so smugly. I am doing this all for free. And I'm going to do a follow-up video on this one because I was going to put one up anyway. of how much YouTube paid me the first month I was monetized, which it was probably like 3 days after these comments came through that I actually got a payment from YouTube. And I'm going to break it down. How much they paid me, how many videos I posted, how many hours it takes me just to edit and post the videos, let alone time setting up, recording, stopping, taking all the videos, and the interruption it takes me from being able to just work through things. Then replying to comments and all that type of stuff is all extra hours. But I will touch base on that on a follow-up video. Hopefully I'll get it out within a few days. And that one will be titled How Much YouTube Paid Me in My First Month Since Getting Monetized, or something along those lines. So yeah, so all my money is honest money. My last relationship, we had a auto repair shop together. We didn't get paid a lot. We worked 1,000,000 hours. Since I was a kid, I started working at 15 when I was full-time, and I've never worked full-time. Always worked overtime. You know, I'm talking minimum 10-hour days to 18-hour days to 24-hour days from time to time. Not a ton of 24-hour days, obviously, but when stuff had to get done, there I am getting it done and whatnot. I haven't saved my whole life. Like, no, I was foolish buying cars and all kinds of stuff back in the day, just spending every penny I got, living paycheck to paycheck. And then it wasn't until I was, I don't know, late 30s that I started saving a couple of bucks and whatnot. And then as far as honest money, like I said, it's as honest as it gets. And I'm going to try not get into too much detail about this, but when my last relationship ended, that was I didn't see it coming. It was a bad time for me and whatnot. We owned a house together. That house was in mid-construction. We had almost half of the house torn apart. Now, I could have flipped off the handle, sold the house the way it was. We were both 50-50 into the house. I could have flipped out and sold the house the way it was and taken my half. I stuck it out. I worked on that house for a year and a half. Year and a half as a broken man, to do the best I could for myself and to do right by her. And that was more reward monetarily than all the money I had saved up. So in the end, it was worth it monetarily. And so, and tell you, I'm not loaded. Absolutely not loaded. I am living in a camper. I am choosing to live in a camper that I bought for $10,000. And I've been in it for pretty much, well, not in this one, but in the other camper and this camper, year and a half living in campers has saved me in my area on average $2,000 a month. So $2,000 a month is $24,000 a year that I would have spent on an apartment had I wanted to be comfortable. But instead, I'm living in a camper in the absolute freezing winter, pipes freezing, and all the miseries that come with that. Honest money. And like I said, I've gone without my whole life. And it is what it is. And we don't have to get into too much detail about it, but every turn I take, I'm making a sacrifice. I am making a sacrifice building this house. I could have taken the money I had and put a hefty down payment on a completed, done house, taken a loan, went out and got a mechanic's job somewhere, and started paying down the rest of the loan and stuff like that. But I chose to buy this abandoned house and rebuild it on my own. And unexpected and an absolute blessing to me. My friends have stopped in and helped out immensely. Like, I almost have somebody here one day a week almost. I have somebody that pops in and helps, and that's pretty phenomenal from thinking that I'm coming into this alone. So anyway, that's just clarifying. There's no easy money here. I mean, maybe someday if everybody shares my channel and like subscribes and likes and watches it over and over again and comments and all that stuff, maybe it'll grow. Maybe I'll get a break for some point in my life. But that's not why I'm doing it. I initially started these videos just to post to keep my friends and family up to date of how I'm doing. It was a life restart. Everybody was concerned. And I wanted to let everybody know so everybody wasn't calling and checking on me every time. So I started all these recordings just to keep my family and friends informed on how I was doing and what I was doing. Because I have a lot of people that care about me, luckily. I'm blessed, absolutely blessed. So that's where this started from. This didn't start from I'm buying this house to make money on YouTube, none of that stuff. This channel was never meant to be monetized. This channel, it went from me posting some short videos on my personal media accounts so my friends knew, and then I want to do the car things and I want to document it on YouTube, so when I sell the cars I can link somebody to it. Maybe I can make a couple of dollars out of YouTube on that channel. This one was never meant to be monetized. This one became monetized 2 weeks before that one became monetized. And it's not a payday, I assure you. Watch the follow-up video and you'll find out. But anyway, it's all sacrifice. It's all, every step of the way, it's blood, sweat, tears. It's effort. It's sacrifices. It's doing things certain ways because it's cheaper. It's doing things certain ways because that's the way I can do it myself and not have to pay somebody. This is about, I don't have children. That was another thing. I never had kids. It just never happened. And not that I didn't want them. It just never happened. So like, even that's part of, sacrifice and not spending a ton of money on having children, and just is what it is. So anyway, this guy just kind of went off with this image that like YouTube's paying me a fortune to do this, and I assure you I'm not. So I had responded back to that last comment where he was saying he's not jealous or anything like that, and he said, until you know somebody, don't judge so smugly. He doesn't know me at all, and he judged incredibly smugly, and it is what it is. Maybe he was under the weather. Maybe he just had a fight with the wife. Maybe he was drunk. I don't know. But this was a lot of comments that had come through from one person. So I just commented saying I'm doing this all on my own, from money from working 10 to 18 hours a day since I was 15, and whatnot. And pretty much since I was 16, out on my own, responsible for every bill of my own. And whatnot. And I've really never borrowed money, never really been in debt except for a Sears card that they conned me into getting when I was 18, and stupidly didn't pay it down, and then it went from $300 in goods, and I kept paying on it, and then I had to pay them off $1,200 to pay it off in the end. Crazy, massive interest on that thing. I learned my lesson big time. But I carry no debt. I live within my means, however that means. Ramen noodles, peanut butter and crackers, whatever. Making meals at home, it is what it is. So anyway, so I just commented that, and the other thing was, there's no family money here. I have no backing. I have no rich mommy, daddy. I have no nothing. And my whole life, my main thing was, if I hurt myself and I can't go to work, I'm going to be homeless, which I have been. And it is what it is. So yeah, so just I've just commented saying I've gone through without without a lot of conveniences most people have and stuff like that and all that type of stuff. Somebody commented on there saying about this car because it's a turbo. Said that the turbo can cost $1,000 unless you have a relative with GM. They were expensive back in the day. Nowadays, you can almost rebuild the turbo fairly cheaply, most of them anyway. But then this same guy comments on this guy's comment and says, YouTube will pay for it. Must be nice. Maybe YouTube will finance my projects. Whatever. Then somebody else commented, how many projects do you need, Charlie? Question mark, with a laughing face, like obviously joking around. And I said, just a few, so when my house and garage are done, I can hit the ground running, building cars, so on. To which he replied, he needs hundreds more so YouTube can finance them. It's not the goal. I'm hoping to finish off this house, live a meager lifestyle, build a car, have fun with it, sell off one of my other ones or sell that car. Like, I want to play with cars. Like, depending on how much it costs me to build this place, it'll depend on if I have to go work 40 hours a week, 90 hours a week like I'm used to, or part-time or whatever. But I'm trying to go off on my own adventure here. And then I had paid $3,200 on it. And in the post, in the YouTube video I had posted, was it worth the $3,200 that I paid for it? Just to kind of get feedback. So somebody said, well, worth $3,200. So I said, thanks, I thought so. And then this other guy comments back in again. He says, that's $3,200 that could have went to his house project, not a play toy. In the meantime, the house rots. I've stopped this house from rotting. I saved this house from absolute decay. This place wouldn't have survived one more winter snowfall, especially this winter's, had I not fixed it up, like got it structurally sound before then. So me taking a day or two or a week or a month or whatever for mental sanity for myself, because I'm a car guy. Like, that's how I recharge. Like, it feeds my soul more than I could explain. So me going off and buying one of these, tinkering with it for a day or two here or there, and having it in the driveway to look at and dream about and think about at night when I'm going to bed alone. And like, rather than think about being alone, I'm thinking about, hey, what color am I going to paint that? What motor am I going to put into it? What does it need? Oh, you know what? It needs this part. It's an oddball part. Let me start searching for it. And occupies your mind and like gets you going. And then like it's sitting out there is like, hey, get the house done so you can work on that. As soon as the house is done, you can fully build that one. That one has actually since left. I bought that partially with the thought of Chris, my buddy Chris, that's helped me out a ton here, Super Trooper, of maybe he might want it or his son might want it, because he has had tons of these Trans Ams back in the day. When we were kids, he had tons of this body style Trans Ams. So it actually went to him. As soon as he saw it, he liked it, and I bought it because it was a good deal and I knew I could make money on it. That's the whole thing. Anything I buy, I make sure it's worth more than I'm buying it for, or it's worth what I'm buying it for, and I know with minimal effort I can make it worth X amount more. It's all about making sure I can make money and not lose money on any of these adventures I go on where I'm just trying to have a little fun. I don't want to spend money to have fun. I want to, and by have fun, I mean work. Like, my idea is fun is building a car. If you're following my car channel, like you saw the drag racing car I built in like 18 days to go drag racing. That's an astronomical amount of work for some people. I was having a blast doing it. So anyway, so the house isn't sitting rotting. There were other comments. Yeah, there were a bunch of other comments. I don't think that I got them all. Bear with me 1 second here. I don't think that I took a picture of all of them. Let's switch accounts here. Yeah, so, and again, I'm not complaining. I'm not mad at this guy or nothing. I'm just clearing the air as to who I am. I want you guys all to know who I am. Like, I'm just your regular average guy. My last year in school, I was 14 years old. My birthday's in June, and that was the last year in school. I was 14, and I turned 15, and never went back to school, and I just had to start working, is what it is. First job was 13, working in a junkyard. And I was only able to do that part-time while I was going to school. And I know some of you might be interested in who I am and what I'm doing. I got it. Let's see here.
In just a few seconds, turn a pile of rust into
Come on.
shining treasures.
I got to watch an ad on my own YouTube videos. Tell me that's not ironic. All right, let's get these comments pulled up here, if it'll stop on them. There we go. Bear with me one second. I thought there were a couple more that were pretty interesting. That one. And I do appreciate all you guys' comments. You guys are all so positive and encouraging and all that stuff. Like you like really feed me like encouragement to keep going and push harder and keep posting the videos, because it's not a quick easy thing to record these and edit them and get them posted and everything else. It does take a lot. And let's see here, 9 more replies. There was some other stuff he commented on, but anyway, this gets the point across. So apparently, this guy imagined that I was getting astronomical amounts of money from YouTube, and YouTube's paying me, and like YouTube bought this house and all this stuff. I'm just a regular schmo, and I am not making a lot of money. Watch the next video where I talk about the monetary side, and you'll understand. Maybe some of you will be encouraged to share the channel and help it grow a little bit. But I'm still doing it I'm going for the experience. My car YouTube channel, that's been active for a handful of years, and it was never serious. It was just post a couple of car things here or there and whatnot. But now I see the value in it. One of the last cars, the 57 Chevy I built, that was awesome when I built it, because when I ended up selling it, because then I was able to say, hey, go to YouTube, here's a link, and here's all the videos of the build. They were able to see what it was before I started, where it came from, all the different work that was done to it, the details taken, like anything I might have missed, like no hiding, nothing. The buyer being able to see that, he drove here from Colorado, I think, or Oklahoma, or something. I forget. He was somewhere middle of the country. And he drove here, and we went for a quick spin. He didn't argue the price, nothing. I honestly thought it was a scam, because he was wire transferring money. And if you're watching this, I am so sorry that I was like sketched out and thinking it was a scam in the beginning, because he was just so lax and so happy with the car, and he just paid, no problem. I'm going to go pick up a U-Haul trailer, throw it on, and we're off and running. But that was probably being able to watch the videos and see how it was built from start to finish. And I figured even just that is valuable as I go down the road. So anyway, so this is just a who am I and where did I come from? I have almost no schooling at all. I took a class for alignments on cars, because we bought an alignment machine. I wanted to know the particulars on that many years ago. But like I said, my last year in school, I was 14 years old. Self-taught on almost everything. Learn everything I can from other people. A little crumb of info from this person, a tip from this person. Luckily, I was blessed with a lot of workers around me. Like all my friends are mechanics, carpenters, and stuff like that. And a lot of us are of the same lifestyle that I grew up in, no family money, no nothing. And like I helped one of my buddies, building his house. I should have helped more with him, but I helped where I could when I could. I was doing a lot of car stuff at the time, but it was awesome getting to learn a lot of new construction because that we were going to rebuild. So we gutted it, and then it was too bad. We tore it down, built a new house. So I learned from him, and my absolute recharging is helping people. Like if I can go run and help somebody out of a bad situation, like friends, with a flat tire 10 towns away, and I go running out and bring a tire and swap it on. Friends, like when we were back hot rodding when we were kids and none of us had any money and the car was broken down, I'd bring it to my work. I'd take it in after hours, do a ton of work to it, bring it back. Did that for a handful of friends and whatnot. And like it truly brings me joy to help people, especially good people, mainly good people, obviously. But like my friends, I wish I had more hours in the day to do more for them because they are all exceptional people. And back in the day, I think I helped a lot. And it recharged me. I got burned a lot. I got used a lot and stuff like that by people that ain't on my close friends list anymore and whatnot. But I am blessed with a lot of good people on my friends list. Real life friends list, not Facebook or anything like that. I'm talking the internal friends list. People that you can truly consider family. So yeah. So do as much as you can. And in helping as many people as I could, it was, Mike's an electrician, helped him with things. And my buddy Rick, he was a flying locksmith. I used to drive around with him all nights and weekends and whatnot, and I'd try and do some of the work he was doing. Eventually, I was doing some of his jobs for him 100%. And I learned about lock coding and master keying and stuff. So I can recode locks. I can master key locks so they take multiple keys. A lot of stuff like that. Like my brain is a sponge. I want to know as much as I can as I go. Even I'm still learning, working on this house. I call my brother, hey, I got a 72-inch header or whatever size it might be. What does it need to be? Does it need to be a 2x6, 2x10, 12-inch LVL? I don't know. And as I go, I'm cataloging that info and storing it. And I've sacrificed and not had a lot of experiences. I still have never been on a plane to this day. I've driven all and up down the East Coast. I've been to Nova Scotia, I've been to Florida, and I've been over to Niagara Falls. And that's it, all in cars. I've driven my butt off. But I've spent probably too much of my life working. But in doing that, I've learned a lot of skills and humbled me a lot and taught me patience. And I've learned patience from a lot of people. My stepfather at a young age, lost him young also. Learned a lot from him and whatnot. There was one time with him, this was my earliest memory of figure it out and fix it. I had a bicycle and it had a anodized, I think it was red, anodized gooseneck on my BMX bike. And one of my older brothers took it and bunny hopped over a wall at my buddy's place at a neighbor's house, and the back tire hooked the wall and it was drop off. He went over, snapped the gooseneck. I went home bawling my eyes out, the one nice thing I've ever had in my life, because that was probably the nicest thing I've ever owned to this point. And I think it was still used when I got it. And my stepfather at the time, bless his soul, his name was Harry. He was a good man, a very good man. We lost him early. And he saw what was going on. He took it apart, the bottom of the gooseneck. It's a round shaft. It's cut at an angle. And then there's a wedge on the bottom that's cut at an angle. And they come together. And when there's a bolt coming through, it pulls the bottom wedge and locks it in. It snapped off above that. And it was broken to me. I was a child. And I watched him. He took the broken piece. He lined it up next to the other one, looked at it. He recut the shape that was on the bottom of the piece that broke off on the shorter piece. And he got a shorter bolt. And he put it all back together with a shorter bolt and just put the handlebar, the forks, the gooseneck down in further, tightened it up, and I was riding my bike in what seemed like minutes. And that was like the first thing that sparked a light in my brain of figuring out how to fix things. And I'm forever grateful for that. He was a good man, and I miss him. He's been gone a very, very, very long time. I think I was 7 or 8 when he passed. But anyway, I'm just a regular Joe like most of you guys. Get out there and do it. Get out there and learn, especially if you're younger. Learn as much as you can and save as much as you can if you're younger. You know, I have people telling me I should have been saving, buying a house instead of buying cars. I should have listened to them. But I'm making the best I can out of the life I have. And it is what it is. But I tell you, knowledge is power. That's the biggest thing. Knowledge is power. It's the truest statement I've ever heard in my life. And as far as being able to fix a furnace in the middle of the night, fix an AC, board up a window, like go install a window, rebuild a whole house, rebuild a whole car from the ground up, change, like, or just simply change your tire, like add fluids to your car, whatever it is. Every little bit. If you can just know how to check fluids and top them off in your car, that's huge alone. Auto repair shops, they're getting, I think the cheapest ones around are over $100 an hour. So everything you can learn to do yourself, you'll save yourself money. And it is satisfying. Holy crap, it's satisfying. Anyway, this video is running long. Looks like it's 36 minutes long. I apologize for how long it is. But yeah, just wanted to get it out there. Just get the impression out that, you know, I am who I am. Don't think I'm loaded. Don't think YouTube's paying me a fortune, and wish you had my money, because I've bled, sweat, and teared for the little bit of money that I do have, and I'm trying to make the best of it. And I tell you, there ain't going to be any left when the house is done. And it is what it is. That's my goal, house. If I can get that done, I'll be thrilled. But anyway, thanks for taking the time to watch. Let me know what you think. And keep an eye out for that video coming up about when I first got monetized for the first month, which was last month. Anyway, thanks again. You guys are awesome. I appreciate your comments. Keep them coming. You're keeping me charged and keeping me going. Thanks again. You guys rock.